DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com, WorkOnMyGame.com. I just saw this clip online the other day that Michael Bloomberg is going to be running for president in 2020. And I guess it was some event he was speaking at. Maybe it was his announcing his candidacy event. And he's standing up at the podium and he's talking. And I don't even remember what he said. It doesn't even matter. But it wasn't very exciting, the way that he was presenting himself. And it got me thinking about what I want to talk about here. It's something that I wrote about already. If you're not on my email list, then go to WorkOnMyGame.com. You can get on my email list. But you think about Trump right now, his audience, whoever, if you support Trump or you dislike Trump, whatever. You think back to Barack Obama, 2008. When he won his presidency, and then he won again in 2012. Why did he win? Anybody who voted for Obama, you tell me why you voted for Obama. You probably can't name 5 presidential political policies that Obama was running on. Can you name 5 of his policies? Probably not. Most people probably can. If you can, then that means you're one out of 1,000 who can name 5 of Obama's policies. Can you name 3 of his policies? Probably not. Can you name 1? Maybe. I thought about it a moment after I wrote it because I can't name any of them. I voted for Obama both times. I can't name any of his policies, but I do know that he wanted the universal health care. So I know that's one thing that he wanted. That was like his signature accomplishment, and it seemed like the Trump presidency wanted to roll that back and take that away. I think that's the one policy that I could name from Obama, if that was something that he was talking about before he got elected. I'm not even sure. But I voted for him anyway. I don't even know any of his policies. So why did I vote for him? Why'd you vote for him, since you probably can't name any of his policies either? You know why? Because what Obama represented and the way that he presented himself and whatever the atmosphere was around him, that's what got people excited about him. And therefore, the people who might not ever vote, never even went to the polls, even though they had the right to vote as Americans, they went to the polls and they voted for Obama, and that's how he won. If you really think about it, with elections, you got like the Democrats, you got the Republicans, right? Most people are either in one category or another, and they always vote for whoever the Democrat or the Republican candidate is. Doesn't matter who it is. There's a huge chunk of people who, no matter who that Republican candidate is, they're voting Republican. And it's the same thing in the Democrats. It's people who are always going to vote for the Democrat, no matter what, all the time. That takes up, let's say, a huge percentage of the population. We'll say 90%, roughly. We'll just say that for now. Just a rough number. The number doesn't even matter. Then you have a small percentage of people who are actually open-minded. You know, everybody says they're open-minded, but there's only a small percentage of people who actually are, meaning they will choose between the Democratic and Republican candidate each time because they're looking at objectively at how they feel about this person and what this person is representing, and then they actually make a decision based on their comparison of the two people, and then they choose somebody, right? Then you got a whole bunch of people who don't vote at all. They never go to the polls. They never vote because maybe they just don't give a damn about politics. Maybe they think their vote doesn't matter. Maybe they've never been excited about a candidate. Those people right there, they're the people who, those people and the people who actually think objectively about who they're going to vote for, that's a very small percentage of the population. We'll say that's maybe 5-10% of the population in America. Those are the people who actually decide who wins the presidency, because the Democrat people always going to vote Democrat. Republican people always vote Republican. So we'll say that's about half and half, right? So how do you figure out who wins? It's when some candidate, however they do it, they get people who never vote and the people who actually are objective to decide between them and the other guy. They vote for that person, and that's how they win. That's how Obama won in 2008. That's how he won in 2012. A bunch of people who never voted, or who actually are looking at the facts, whatever you want to call the facts, because everybody has their own set of facts, right? They voted for Obama. That's how he won. 2016, Donald Trump, same thing. He got a bunch of people who never vote to get excited about what he presented, which was make America great again. They voted for Trump. He won, even though he didn't even win the popular election, right? Didn't he lost the popular vote? Hillary had more votes than him, but strategically speaking, he got more people voting for him to win the electoral college. He won the presidency. In 2020 is going to be the same thing. I'm not saying Trump, But I'm saying whoever wins is going to be the person that gets enough people excited about them for whatever reason to go out and vote because they never vote, or to choose him because they actually are open-minded about who they choose. Whereas most people are not open-minded. They're going to choose the same candidate from the same party no matter what is going on. And I'm bringing up Bloomberg because when I saw Bloomberg talking, I'm like, this guy's not very exciting. He's not going to get anybody excited to vote for him. There are probably some people who are going to vote for him because he's Democratic, or to vote for him because he was the mayor of New York, or maybe they like him for whatever he's done business-wise or whatever. But they were already going to vote on that side no matter what. It didn't matter who it was. And this is the challenge with the Democratic Party that I see right now. And I'm not into politics at all. I can't tell you about any one policy. I don't know about any foreign relations or any of that shit. I don't care about any of it. But my vote is worth the same number of votes as yours is, even if you know 100 times more than me about politics. So I have just as much right to talk about this as you, because some people get mad when someone talks about politics, but they don't know policies. Like, nobody gives a fuck about a policy. We all got one vote. All right, it's the same amount. I'm not going to say nobody gives a fuck. There are a lot of people who do give a whole lot of fucks about policy, but each of our votes is worth exactly one. So no matter how much you know, right? So to get people to vote for anyone on either side of this, well, let's just talk about the Democratic side, because Trump's going to run Republican. I don't think anybody's going to beat him on the Republican side. Who is going to get enough people excited about them to unseat Trump? Right now, from what I see, I'm recording this in November. You'll probably see this video in December 2019. Who is that person? I think the reason why this whole impeachment thing the Democratic side is pushing is because they realize that the only way they can get Trump out of that White House is to go this way, is to somehow figure out that he can't be president, just get him pushed out. Not because there's any Democrat that can actually beat him. I don't think there's any Democratic candidate that can actually beat this guy, because no Democratic candidate has gotten anybody excited enough to be like, yeah, that's the guy that we want, or that's the girl that we want, because there's women running as well. So that's the challenge that I see right now. And I'm telling you all that to tell you this. If you want to move people to action, it is not necessarily about, oftentimes it's definitely not about the information. It's not about the facts of the situation. It's not about the actual quality of what you bring to the table. All of those things do matter once people start looking at you in a more detailed way. But in general, the main thing that gets people to move to action when it comes to whatever you're doing, whatever you want them to do, you got to get people excited. You got to get people somehow emotionally engaged in what you're doing. If they're not emotionally engaged, usually what happens is people do nothing. It's not even that they'll go against you. It's just they won't do anything at all. So whatever the status quo was or is just going to stay that way. So you want to move people to action, figure out a way you can get them excited about something. And excitement, understand, excitement does not have to be happiness. Excitement can be fear. Excitement can be nervousness. Excitement can be anger. Excitement can be joy and positive, but it could be a negative energy as well. That's excitement just the same. But without that, people usually do absolutely nothing. And whatever already is, just keeps going. Work on your game.